Hi guys, Michael Bell here, 24th of January today. I thought I'd put up another kind of quick video blog just to let you guys know what's been happening. I'm kind of going to put these up whenever I feel something's happened or something I want to talk about, something I want to kind of start a conversation about. I'm going to be putting one of these up, so there's not really a timed, while I'm kind of going for kind of two to three a month of the kind of screen captured type stuff, going through the compositions, talking about the libraries, the blogs are going to be a little more as and when I kind of feel I should do one. I mentioned before that I always try to do this by text, try to write it into a blog, like, actually type, and I just never did it. So I'm finding this a lot better, setting the camera up, talking to you guys, and I think it's better as well to actually see, for me, looking back, what's been happening, when I can actually see what's going on, as opposed to read through something I wrote. Yeah, this month, the last couple of days, this week, I basically released my first album, which is now available on all the stores, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, Tidal, you name it, it's there. Really the reason for me doing that was that I personally feel like kind of the turn of 2015, 2016, I feel a lot more kind of confident, I suppose, as a composer. I'm getting the sounds I wanted to hear from my studio, kind of, and it's been like a long kind of time coming that I was trying to get this particular kind of style down, and I feel I'm starting to do that now. And while there's obviously always things to learn, which is why I love music composition, it's something that never changes. Well, always changes, I should say. There's always the new things to learn, new tools to use, which is part of the reason I love it. I wanted to basically collate everything I'd done. So from my first kind of score, which I did back at university in 2011, up to kind of a YouTube documentary that I'd done for Silver Lining Pictures, based around the gangster Frankie Fraser, which is just about to hit 100,000 views on YouTube. All the kind of compositions, there's 10 of which is basically anything that kind of hit picture. In those kind of early projects, those short films, those kind of YouTube docs that I did, I just compiled them into an album, 10 cues long, and called it Awakening the Early Scores. So please do check that out, let me know what you think. But it's a way for me kind of to archive those off. I'm backing all those projects up, moving them off the computer, and now moving into kind of what I consider I feel like I've grown musically. And there's something I wanted to sort of discuss as well is, a lot of the times when people write, or I speak to people, and this is myself as well all the time, you can sometimes get stuck during a composition, or things don't get finished, or I end up with tons of cues just kind of sitting there. I'm sure we've all got like a folder of kind of archived, like in progress kind of cues. And I kind of wondered why that was. Why is it that you get started on an idea, you get to a certain point, and perhaps you get stuck. Or you not so much stuck, but maybe you don't know where to go or where to move it to next. And what I found is it's tracking what you're doing. I think traditionally, where you'd kind of you'd have your band together, or you'd be an artist, you'd sit down, you'd note down what you wanted to do, or get your basic kind of idea together, be it in notation or just strumming on a guitar. Then you'd go into a studio and you'd work with a recording engineer or a producer to kind of help you, merge those sounds together, create your sound. Then you'd have the mix down, different process again. Then you'd have, a mastering engineer. All these guys kind of come in, and all these different processes that get involved within the creation. And kind of nowadays, I think because of the tools we've got, it's very kind of easy to keep jumping between, I'll find I'll get perhaps a minute into a cue, and all of a sudden I've just find myself spending hours, like mixing a string sound, or, oh, it's not sounding quite loud enough, let's try and master it out and bring it up to, we're doing a trailer, let's get it massive straight away. And you start jumping between wearing these different hats, if you like. And, really, I think, for me, what I found I did with my last kind of track was I really focused on, I'm composing this track. I'm the composer now, not the mixer or the masterer, and those types of things. And I actually found it worked really to your benefit. I find you do jump in, you're going to, part of your initial sound design part, if you like, where you're designing your sounds, you're choosing your particular cello sound from an array of libraries, for instance, or you're choosing your percussion or your winds or whatever it might be. There's always an element of that. You're going to start you really are kind of mixing there straight away from loading up your sound. But I found when I kind of, consciously thought, no, we're composing a track, a lot more happened a lot quicker, and the mixing part, when it came in, it wasn't the main focus, if that makes sense, and I got things done a lot quicker and actually finished the cue. So it didn't end up kind of spinning into the next day. So that's something I personally have learned, and you know that's what I've been telling everyone, all my friends, kind of thing. I've been saying, look, you know, those tracks you're stuck on, stop worrying so much about the mix at this stage. Just get the basic, you know, blueprint in, and kind of fill out your arrangement, and then worry about the mix and the master later. So yeah, so that's out. Anyway, look, sorry, rambling on there, but that's kind of something I've been focusing on. So yeah, Waking in the Early Scores is out. I got some new equipment. I bought a Korg Nano Control 2, so I'll probably do a video on the setup of that because it was slightly irritating, I must say. But essentially, I'm only using probably around 10% of the controller. It's literally just to control MIDI CC, so my expression, my held notes, obviously my modulation, and just MIDI volume in general. And you can kind of, I might look into actually doing this and setting it up kind of in terms of like contact modulation, you know, moving fades, or if you're using something like Gravity or some sort of sound design library, you know, moving the different parameters to change the cutoff or EQ, or add reverb, delay, all those sorts of things. I might get it that I can actually set the controller so it's constantly programmed to those parameters. But at the moment, it's just been a case of like each cue I'm in, if I need to, like if I feel I need to assign it to a pan, I'll just MIDI learn it in Pro Tools, and for the rest of that session it will stay there. And I can record it for the parts that I need. But so I probably will do a video on that, messing around with that, because it's quite cool. I really have found it very beneficial to just have that controller there, and you can just change your MIDI CCs whenever you need to. So yeah, new equipment. I've just picked up a new library, so I picked up Orchestral Tools Metropolis Arc 1, which is basically installing. I'm right in the middle of Blanket still, in terms of the film stuff. So that is kind of going to be going on for the remainder of this month into early February. And then we're moving on to a feature which I'm thinking, well, I know Metropolis Arc will be featuring heavily in that film. I can't really speak too much about that just yet, but all will be revealed on that front. So yeah, already really good stuff, really excited times. I'm really pleased. So far this year, I've been kind of getting straight into things, which is great. I've been doing kind of around about a video a week on YouTube, which is what I kind of aimed for. Just so between the blogs, kind of putting up a few music cues, the tutorials, talking about sample libraries, I'm aiming for kind of a video a week across all those things. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. It's nice to know people are kind of interested in watching, and it's been interesting for me to actually look back on what I did in a composition and kind of remember things. It's interesting when you kind of document things. They say, you know, they write things down after you do them, and it helps to kind of set them in your mind. I suppose this is a process of doing that. So yeah, I hope you have a great weekend wherever you are, and I hope you continue to follow the videos. Please comment, rate, subscribe, all those good standard things that we all say. And I shall see you in the next video, which I would imagine will be on Metropolis Arc. So let's hope I manage to do some interesting stuff for you guys there. Okay guys, take care, see you soon, bye bye.